So this is a story, this was about 2 days before Halloween. The two friends that I'll be talking about is Felicia and Jasmine. And the first one, yeah, it kind of bothers me, but the second one kind of gets me a little bit. So I'm looking for your guys' advice on what you guys think about this. Please leave a like and a comment down below. Okay, so first off, Jasmine. So I'm FaceTiming with her. I'm asking her what's going on. She says that she asked me, what are you doing for Halloween? Told her I was gonna go trick-or-treating. I was gonna go have fun and everything. And she tells me that, well, my boyfriend has taught me a lot, that, growing up and everything. So I'm not gonna be trick-or-treating this year. I'm not doing Halloween. And I was like, oh, okay, so, what are you doing? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna be watching movies and everything. And so I thought that, oh, okay, so you're too grown to go trick-or-treating, and you're too grown to be dressing up, which I've seen people in their 30s and 40s dressing up for Halloween, even though they don't have kids. And I've seen them go to parties, we're in our fucking 20s. Where does that not make sense? Anyways, with Jasmine, it was just, I don't know. But with Felicia, so I'm messaging her. I asked her, what are you going to be doing for Halloween? She tells me that she isn't going to be doing Halloween this year, and that she, has a lot on her plate. Now I'm going to do a little background. So she's been messing with her doctor. Her doctor's been telling her, first he said that she's not capable of having kids, but she actually is. And then on top of that, her doctor doesn't believe that she has social anxiety, but it's on her chart saying that she does have social anxiety. She got diagnosed. And for a rundown, she's lower functioning than me. I have a disability, and she has a cognitive disability. And so, that's where that's at. So how she has that social anxiety is the fact that she has to wear this heart monitor. They have to find out and everything. Well, her doctor does. And so anytime she gets that social anxiety, that's usually when her fiance's mom comes to the house, and she tries to control the whole situation. And on top of that, she literally her mother-in-law assumes that she should be going to bed around 9 o'clock, waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning. But that is just not how Felicia's schedule works. Felicia gets up, goes to sleep, gets up, goes to sleep. And that's usually, she gets up around, 7 o'clock in the morning. She takes a nap, and it's a cat nap. And then she wakes up, eats lunch, she does whatever, and then she goes to sleep. And, she does that every day if she doesn't have anything going on. If they're not going to places or not doing anything, that's just how it goes. And her mother-in-law doesn't understand that. She doesn't respect her boundaries at all. Her mother-in-law likes to manipulate and control the situation. She's also told Felicia that her fiance doesn't deserve a kid, and her fiance has a disability, but he's high functioning. And she tells me that's great, but the simple fact is that he can't stand up to her. And he claims that he has tried, but I doubt that 100%. And he doesn't have a case manager. He only gets paid from the state and all of that. But the same thing is with Felicia. She gets paid from the state as well. But, this is just my thought. You can easily just not be so stressed out, and you worrying about having a baby and then texting me after every conversation that we have. Make sure you pray for me that I have a baby, And I completely get that, but at the same time, you're stressing yourself out. You're doing that to yourself so you can't have a child. I mean, if you would just take my advice and stop being fucking stubborn as a mule, then maybe you would get pregnant and maybe that blessing would come. And I've told her that, she's supposed to wait until January, because every time I pray, I keep being told she's not ready yet. She's not ready yet. Wait until the 1st of January. And she's not really listening to me, and I don't know. It's a little frustrating, to say the least, only because she's not taking my advice. And normally a best friend would do that because they trust you and they treat you as if you are their best friend. She doesn't really do that. She doesn't text me. I mean, I'd say about a week before Halloween, she stopped texting me. So I feel like that, you treat me as if you're my best friend, but you don't. You act like you do, but you don't. You don't tell me what's really going on. You don't, say what's bothering you or anything. A normal best friend would do that, and she doesn't do that. And so, it really gets to me. You can literally just stop being so stressed out and celebrate a fucking holiday and get dressed, take selfies, do TikToks, but you choose not to do that because you want to ponder over what's going on and you want to force yourself to be stressed out, which you don't have to do that, but you choose to do it. And this is where it becomes frustrating because she doesn't take my advice. And it's like, honey, if you're not going to treat me as if I'm your best friend, then I'm not going to pray for you to have a baby. That is just simple as fact. You need to wake up and realize that you are stressing yourself out. And if you don't want your mother-in-law to be involved with a lot of your medical issues, then maybe you should just exclude her from your life. And you can easily do that. I've done it with mine. Because there's a lot of the time she's been wrong. And I've had to step between that. And she just deals with it. And it's kind of like, how can I actually be your best friend if you don't even take my advice? And then on top of that, you don't even text me as much, but then when you do, you ask me to pray for you. Like, why would I do that? Why would I waste on a prayer so that way you can have a kid? Like, this is where it doesn't make any sense. It's frustrating, and I don't know. What do y'all think about this?
This is another thing that I have to add to the whole thing. But her boyfriend, well, her fiance, literally, so at the time, she didn't realize that they were still in a relationship because he never communicated that to her. He stopped texting her for an entire week. And an entire week, he stopped texting her. So she just assumed that they weren't together. And supposedly he was trying to message her, but she didn't look at the messages. Only because that's her ex. Like, why would she look at the messages? And he holds against her that Felicia cheated on him, but she's not a person to cheat. And then on top of that, he holds that against her. But the thing is that how is she supposed to know that you guys were still in a relationship when you didn't message her for an entire week, bruh? And you assume that she should be that loyal when you know that she wanted to have a kid in the first place? Like, make it make sense. And then on top of that, he just holds it against her. And then on top of that, he doesn't believe half of the medical issues that she actually has. And it's a little ridiculous, say the least. I mean, he acts all big and bad, which we all know he's not. And he's made threats towards a friend of mine, and it's pathetic. Like, how immature are you? And then you go ahead and tell her to forgive and let go and stop dwelling in the past, but yet you're the one dwelling in the past. You're the one that can't let things go, and you're the one that keeps holding over your own fiance's head that she cheated on you, supposedly. But here's the fucking bottom line. You didn't communicate to her that you guys were still a thing. So you can't keep on bringing up the past in arguments. That's just my whole thing. It's a shit show up all the way. Only because of the way he treats her sometimes. And that is the other reason why I haven't really prayed over it, because everything keeps telling me that he's not a good guy, he's a red flag, and that's not okay. But, you know, that's Felicia. She'll stay in a relationship until he abuses her. But as soon as he hits her once, she's gone. Like, and that's just the bottom line. But I don't understand why you would stay in a relationship to where he holds shit against you. That's just not okay. And then on top of that, him not believing a single word you say, I think it's a little ridiculous. And then on top of that, he has to be hovering over her to make sure who she's talking to, who she's texting, and he's always checking her phone all the time. Like, man, if you had that much trust issues, maybe you should really go to therapy for yourself. You need help, bruh. But yeah.